Why? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbot333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order Last Days of Europe as Amur. Last video, Maganon took us by surprise a little bit. I can't even lie. So we're trying to go ahead and, rally recruits. We're trying not to die, really. And that's the gist of it. We do not want to die. Let's do that more. Take a look at Magnon's little tree. It's actually kind of neat. Nothing but nonsense, I'm sure. Oh, fuck off. Please, no. Fuck no. If we go with candlelight, Radzevsky peered towards the map of Russia mounted on his wall. Softly shading in it with light brown, he gazed at his corner of Russia, the corners of his mouth upturning, knowing that the territory he controlled was pure, a land now free of anyone who dare challenge him, free of any traitors who would undermine his will in the parties, and cleansed of any degenerates that could bring down his state and corrupt the soul of the Russian people. But that wasn't enough. Radzevsky's heart sank. He looked outward, taking in how little of Holy Russia was free of degeneracy, surrounded by the pseudo-communists, kosher-fascists in Magnon, the impotent relics of the past that governed Cheetah. A dread swallowed Radzevsky's soul. There was so much to be done and so much standing against him. Instinctively, he reached to the side, expecting to grab a bottle of vodka. As he reached down, he was met instead by a warm and furry feline who had plopped herself down in front of the bottle. More pure as Radzevsky rubbed her stomach, his words slowly fading as he evaluated the situation. Radzevsky turned back towards the map. Yes, there was much to be done, but he had a strong party who would stand behind him and achieve his vision, whatever the cost they must pay, even in blood. Russia will be saved, there was no doubt, and will be by his hand, and the Vaz will be Russia's salvation. I don't want to lose production units. We'll do a nationalist Russia main manifest. Russia had walled under failure and broke in identity for decades, shattered and torn asunder by enemies. How, must one ask, could Russia seemingly be so united, collapse so quickly? She fell when the Bolsheviks came to power, and as they slaughtered those who'd filed the Red Terror, scattered the weak whites, and gorged themselves on the spoils of Russian land. But they were not Russians, but men corrupted by the foreign values, specifically the German ideology of Marxism. The Vaz's vision, however, is purely Russian, one rooted in the history of our nation and our people, one of the corruption and vices of Tsar's regime expunged, and the sickness of communist ideology purged, is a Russia that embraces her heritage, people, and God, a Russia apologetic, pure, and strong. If we can beat these guys back and win, that'd be great. Okay, that actually helps us, because I'm pretty sure Cheetah was about to go after us. Wait, so they're against both of these guys. We're also against both of these guys. Okay, thank God. They're going away. We have time. We have time, guys. It's actually going okay. Jesus Christ, they're going against everyone. Radzevsky's... Hold on. We'll invest this in our economy. And now it's time to go. Radzevsky's chest swelled with pride as he gazed upon the columns of soldiers in front of him. Still as statues, despite being battered by icy winds. They hung on every word he said, awaited his orders without complaint, and it felt glorious. Russians! We're in the midst of another time of troubles, caused by the jaded Bolshevik menace who still lurks among us. Amidst us, sorry. I was thinking too much memes. They continue to corrupt the soul of our nation and its people. The German occupation of our heartland has served as a trial to weed out the weakest who burden us. One which we will emerge from as a stronger nation. He raised a finger, his voice booming over the fields. No more the godless communist, liberal, or Jew undermine us. Only through complete commitment to God, to nation, to your laws, can Russia free itself from the pits of degeneracy. You, our brave soldiers, will be the vanguards of which to propagate these values. You will be seen as heroes for centuries to come. Let us end this time of troubles. Today, we march for the motherland. Hoorah! The soldiers shouted, a roar that echoed for several seconds as they saluted Radzevsky. He basked in the sound, filled with the pride of what he had built and what he had and would accomplish. Without him, these hooligans would be shapeless and directionless. He had given them a purpose, one which will see himself and only himself guiding Russia to greatness. If only he knew what they said when his back was turned. Are they talking shit? Because if so, we can just purge them. Commit to the war effort. Region of Egypt, an actual Egyptian. Okay, when you're done holding the line, you got to make a beeline towards Magadan. Let's do those who have helped us. Oh yeah, we will not, of course, forget those who have been our allies throughout the initial difficult times. The Empire of Japan has supported us, while many, including most Russians, would not. For this, we will be indebted, for a time at least. One day we no longer need the support of such allies, but for now we must call upon them once more, and ask them to contribute to our cause, as they have done before. The Japanese will demand a price, of course, perhaps a favor to do, or promise to fill in future. Yet there's likely little to fear from such demands. Their price will be reasonable, and what ultimately matters is our coming victory, one which they have a stake in, and thus have the proper motivation to see us through to the end. There we go. So we got the one VP. I was about to say his last name was pretty close to that. Wondered if there was a connection. No, don't do that. Fuck! They outsmarted us. Oh, oh, god damn it. Fucking shit. Okay, loading the autosave. I'm just gonna do a little bit of save scum. I don't think it calls for a mass defection at this time. It would be unfortunate. Maybe not needed. There we go. That helps us a lot. These guys are declaring war on us, but that's okay. These guys are falling back. You're gonna go over there, buddy. You can go over here. These guys are war fucking everyone. It's just not... What? That's just not right. My chest is pounding right now. Goddamn. I don't know if I played a TNO game this tense in a while. We both can secure Magadan. I mean, that's okay so far. You got a whole line there, soldier. We'll do a great future awaits us. Many citizens look around the state, at the state of Russia, in despair. It's difficult for many to imagine a better future after decades of suffering, collapse, and death. Instead, many content themselves with mere survival, rather than reach for a dream that may be shattered later. The people cry out for a leader, a vision of the future. We shall answer. Communism, monarchism, such ideologies of failure have shown to be insufficient in restoring Russia to glory. There's only one path capable of returning the motherland to her rightful place, and the RFP will be your guide. Take heart, citizens, for under the party you will have a future to believe in, a nation to be proud of. Okay, let's... Fuck, no, it's too late for the autosave. Fucking shit. This is actually going okay, though. Might not... Oh! I was about to say the tables are about to turntable. Zevsky's eyes darted across the crowd, looking at it for anything out of the ordinary. Nothing seemed amiss for now. The black shirts surrounding him in the perimeter of a rally made sure of that. The crowd around him gazed with admiration and pride. Sure was vetted to only hold the most dedicated of fascist party members. Nonetheless, he felt great satisfaction in seemingly ordinary people's dedication for himself and the fascist cause. Zevsky made an effort to compose himself for this appearance, not drinking excessively the night before that, and shaving enough not to look entirely disheveled. Something that will look good for the cameras, at least. He personally shook the hands of several party members, rewarding them with citizens' awards for turning in dissidents and recruiting members, as well as announcing various promotions. He took a place at the podium, continuing his speech, personally thanking all members of the fascist party for their service, working to strike a balance between glorifying him and glorifying them. He told them they were warriors who would lead Russia in the future, guided by his wisdom, that together we would lead the real Russia to the prosperity they deserve. This is what we fight for God, for the nation, for labor, and for all of you here today. The crowd burst into applause, and a smile appeared on Zevsky's face. His words radiated throughout Siberia, and the few televisions I picked up on signal, there was radios across the Far East. And across the lands outside Amur, those who managed to listen had a far different reaction to hearing the crowd before the Vaz. However, such reactions meant nothing. All he heard were cheers and the people shouting his names. I think that went pretty well. Ooh. Let's do that. We'll do that. Probably invest in infrastructure. Make sure we... We're actually hanging in, which is a gosh darn miracle. Let's do a godly Russia made true. For too long, Russia's been faithless. Indeed, perhaps the humiliation that's fallen Russian people was because we turned away from God, allowed the godless Bolsheviks to sweep across our lands, burn our churches, execute our priests, and punish the faithful. The Bolsheviks and their Jewish allies have done much to destroy the Orthodox faith. That is, the Vaz brought Russia back to God. No more will the Orthodox faith be shunned and persecuted. Indeed, he shall use his authority to spread the word of God far and wide, restore the Orthodox Church to her rightful place in Russian society. The pagan religions, godless ideologies, and Jewish whispers that have and continue to poison the Russian mind will be cleansed from this land without delay. Sure. Listen, man. As long as we take over Magadan, I don't really care. Let's do... Uh-oh. We'll march on for the Vols, I think. The Far East is a barren, undeveloped land, one desperately in need of efficiency and civilization. And our current position of existing infrastructure is insufficient for our needs. The numbers are clear, and after taking these risks into account, the poor state of our supply lines will enable our enemies to easily surround our soldiers and defeat them. That these brave Russian patriots are put at such risk is unacceptable to Vols, and he has immediately ordered that all supply lines to be reinforced and expanded to allow our soldiers to push forward. We will mobilize our soldiers to accomplish this, which will no doubt claim some of their lives, but such are necessary sacrifices. There will be nothing to stop the march of the warriors of Harbin and the triumph of the Vols. That focus was fact-checked by true Russian patriots. Surely. Okay, honestly, as long as it's not the fucking... Although they're probably about to take Yakutsk. Honestly, I don't care, though. We started somewhere. We might still have time yet to take over Yakutia. Or they might be about to, smack us. Okay. Let's occupy Magadan. We'll prove our victories. Give us a little extra war support. There's nothing worse than betrayal. I considered my own death. Rather consider my own death than betrayal, but yeah, that's what I've been dealt. And as such, I must react accordingly. I hereby condemn you, Mikhail Alexievich Mitkovsky, the worst of betrayers, the renegade in Magadan, to death. Ever since the collapse of Makovsky's regime and subsequent capture by Rodzewski's loyalists, the renegade remained nearly completely silent all throughout his imprisonment and torture. He would not even admit his crimes, splitting the party, anti-Russian activities, breach of morality and decency, either in duress or on the stand. It's clear that he's guilty, of course, but he isn't playing into the show that Rodzewski had hoped he would put on. Regardless, the execution would go forward. It had to. The central square of Zaya, once the market that had since been transformed into the town's gallows for all of Vod's ideological enemies, had been packed with a number of black shirts and senior members of the RFP. Each one had been picked based on their reaction to the party Mikovsky himself. They had never known him directly or had been affected by the fallout of the splitting of the party. Losing friends or family to the split and subsequent purges on all sides resulted in dozens of members of the RFP being more than happy to attend the execution. As Mikovsky was being brought to the crowd, all of whom had been roused to believe that the man was responsible for their hardships. Once he was brought up, Rodzewski himself was there to greet him. Looking him directly in the eye, the boss asked him, "Any last words?" Silence followed as Mikovsky stared back, awkward seconds passing by. Frustrated by his silence, Rodzewski threw a punch, landing on his captive's cheeks. He spat a single word at Mikovsky. "Bastard!" Turning to the executioner, he gave him official command. Thus ended the split. An end fit for a traitor. More convoys. Time for light support. Smuta is continuing along. Could reconnect power grids. We're actually doing okay-ish power-wise. Yeah, I think we might want to do the Eternal Pathogen, because I think venomous sites are going to be better for us to deal with. It was perhaps too much hope that our rise would avoid attracting the attention of our eternal foe. Yet the Jew is savvy, deceitful, yet insidious in their action. Or their reaction. My apologies for missaying that. In the end, it was inevitable that they act against us, so we must respond in kind. Enemies rise outside our borders, the puppets of scheming Jews who are being mobilized to stop us, in a desperate attempt to destroy us while we are at our weakest. However, they have acted too late. Far too late. We know their schemes and they hatch, the machinations they carry out, and the games they play. Let them send their puppets to us. We shall meet them in battle and strike these hapless vessels down. Now put all these guys on. Well, admittedly, I don't know if it's gonna be any of these other guys. A day to remember. I'm sure we'll be sad about it. I don't know if anyone else will be, though. I actually might stick around a little bit here. I have no idea who's going to win there, honestly. Let's do Venomous. No, let's just bite the bullet and do this one. Russia shall not restore itself through wishes alone. Such a result will not come through foreign intervention and luck of the generosity of others. Such methods will only produce a weak, dependent parasite which will wither and die without support. Now, a strong Russia shall only come through hard work and sacrifice of her people. Fortunately, there are many such hardworking men in Russia, many whose ingenuity has helped produce much for our state. We shall gather these people and better organize, train, and utilize them for the ultimate benefit of the state. Those who are worthy of our attention shall be rewarded and elevated to places benefiting their station. The rest will toil and take solace in the fact that it is through their labor that the motherland grows strong. Finish off my chocolate milk. It seems kind of clear to me, personally, that Irkutsk is going to attack us next. At least now it seems clear. German Civil War, so it begins. Who would Radzevsky support? First nominal's fallen. Now the rest will follow. Ow, my ear's kind of hurting a little bit. That's not nice at all. There goes the English Civil War. I've not lose the monthly population, so I'll do. I guess I'll do that one. Within our camps, there are many people. Dissidents, traitors, enemy soldiers, Democrats, monarchists, communists, and more, each of them in the only place befitting their filth, in service to Russia, performing physical labor for the rest of their lives. Yet even these people require hope to strive towards, else we become stagnant and useless. We will give them one. We will promise that those who work without complaint, display obedience, and show a willingness to learn the truth of fascism will be given their freedom. Forgiveness is a virtue, and the Voz is surely a godly man. But forgiveness is not given freely. It is earned. I mean, if we can... We have a core on them now, which is good. Gotta manage this as best we can. Let's see, what do we want to do? Entrenchment speed, not division speed. That's what we wanted. I think if we take their capital, we might be okay. Tarasov walked in on the line of ragged men, naked contempt etched on his features. He didn't want to read the orders handed out to him, let alone interpret them. These scum were only fit for labor, but orders were orders. As the chilled wind whipped around the assembled line, biting at their exposed flesh, Tarasov began. Listen up. Voz decreed for the following. Any prisoner who completes their quota consistently for a period of a year will be released as free men, for their debt to society has been repaid. A buzz of excited murmurs swept throughout the crowd, but Tarasov silenced him with a sweep of his hand. What do these reprobates do with freedom? He idly wondered. Surely it would return to terrorize the streets of Amur only to return to his care. So they had to find some assurance that the Voz had taken such concerns into account. Work hard, and you may one day see outside the wire again. Veil the Voz, and die here. It's that simple, scum. Dismissed! As the guards herded the prisoners back to their workplaces, Tarasov returned to his office and closed the door behind him. What a waste, he thought. He was always in need of workers, and slave labor provided the muscle required thus far. Tarasov paused, deep in thought. Something occurred to him. The decree had been clear enough, but this was still his camp. He took to his typewriter, checking the outlays in a series of wildly unpopular labor policies. The quota would remain the same, but divided in such a way that each slave would be burdened with more work. Satisfied, he prepared the memo for distribution. Voz may have made his decree, but this was still his camp. Freedom's carrot, and necessity's stick. Let's do... I don't even want to look at our poverty rate right now. Oh, God, it's almost 90%. Well, we finally have something to decrease our poverty. The unfortunate reality is that for many people, they simply have no purpose in life. No ambition, no goal, no true desire to live. And many are content to wallow in the purgatory of life. Not us, not our citizens. For like many Russians, they know they work for a higher purpose. God, nation, and Voz. The national revolution is their life, and spreading it to all of Russia, their mission. Nothing must stop us from realizing this dream. To live for one's people is an honor. To die for them is a privilege. We must not let our worldly fears of injury and death hinder our patriots from their noble toil. The factories will run at all hours, and unnecessary standards will be purged. All productivity must maximize, for the national revolution demands all from us, in mind, body, and soul. I'll try to take the capital real quick, and I'll see if that's enough to capitulate them. Do prison construction. Seems appropriate for us to... There we go. Milor coup. we're just... We just can't get a break, can we? Okay, occupy Yakutia. And then... I don't quite know what else we can do other than, we'll pick it up next time. I gotta end it here, folks. I have an idea. But until I figure out this idea, I'm gonna have to leave it here. So thanks always for watching, friends. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content feature, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays, as well as occasionally Saturdays. Having comments, feedback, can certainly leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments again. I appreciate any and all feedback you may have for me. Check out the usual links and all that stuff down in the description box below. And yeah, that's it for now, my friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.